there was so much evidence being like weird sample that I've never heard. Same tag? Like, I'm like, dude, there's no way. But it was such a coincidence. It wasn't. It wasn't stolen.
Pin it up. In your line of work, you connect people and make things happen. And sometimes that stuff comes with its challenges. In 2024, Benny Boom's son, Mini Boom, produced the beat for Rick Ross's Champagne
How the hell did
Moments.
you hear about this? This is crazy. How you're like fucking Nardmore, bro. How did how did you find out about this? Go ahead though.
The song where he disses Drake and you helped link that, right?
No, this is actually a very interesting. That's why I'm like, how do you know about this? So, long story short, bro, I didn't help link that, but I talked to Benny, and I mentioned this guy earlier, Jay Hatch, who was one of my mentors and a good friend of mine. He was the founder of iStandard Producers with Don DiNapoli. He's the one who actually got me on the phone with Benny Boom when this happened. So this is what happened. One of my producer hits me. I remember it's a Sunday afternoon. I was outside cutting my lawn too, dude. I'm a no more dude about cut my lawn. And he's like, yo, he's like, Rick Ross stole my beat. I'm just like, what? And he's just like, dude, I get this all the time. And it's very easy as a creator to act off emotion. You immediately think it's stolen. And that's the biggest mistake I'll tell creators right now. Don't do that. Best thing you can do, shut the fuck up. Don't go on social media. Write out an evidence report like the police are asking. Every detail of how it could have happened, when it happened, what the sample, if there was, whatever it is, write everything out. So anyhow, I listened to it. I'm like, oh shit. And he goes, my tag's in there. And I was like, wow, I think he might have. But what's crazy is his tag ended up sounding like another producer's tag. Like they almost had a very similar tag. But at this time, we didn't know. So I'm just like, okay, let me just start poking around. Looked into it, and I'm like, okay, who produced this? And I find out that it's Benny Boom's. I didn't put two and two together, first of all. What's his name? Mini Boom? I forget his name
Mini
now.
Boom.
Mini Boom, right? Yeah, super nice kid. He was the producer, so I'm like, is that Benny the Boom's son? Oh, shit, okay. So I'm like, who do I know? So I knew Jay Hatch knew him, so I was like, Hatch, dude. I was like, I think this kid may possibly have stolen this beat or something. Maybe they collabed and left him out. I don't know. I was like, can you just connect us? And like, I'll try to make this right. So funny enough, Hat's listened to it. He's like, bro, I don't think it's that tag. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. We were actually going back and forth about it. He's like, but I'll link you. So he linked me, then he called me and was just like, what's going on? So I explained, I said, listen, dude, I'm not a producer. All I do is I'm the publisher for this other producer. A lot of these guys come to me when there's problems because I find solutions. So I'm like, and I explained everything to him. Here's the crazy part. There was a Russian sample in this, right? A song, apparently this producer said nobody could have found this sample ever. It was so buried. There's no way someone else found this sample. I said, okay. So I talked to him and I didn't say anything. And I said, when did you make this beat? So I already knew when our producer made it. They told me the date. The date was before our producer. And I go, and what sample is it? And they go, oh, this is a Russian sample from da-da-da-da that came out in this year. I have the files right here where I got it. I'm like, okay. Okay, you made this beat. Like, this is your beat. Bro, it was such a unique situation that the two producers had similar tags. They both used the same Russian sample. And he had all the files, and he made the beat like a year and a half before my producer made it. So it all checked out. But from there, me and Benny like formed a cool relationship. Like, we talk all the time, but like, dude, like I helped his son get set up on BeatStars. And I'm like, anything you need, just let me know. You know what I mean? We looked into the publishing side of things too. It didn't work out, but it formed there. Now I have a cool relationship. And he's from Philly too, which is dope. So we talked about that. But at first it was a little hot because it kind of like, you're accusing us of stealing. And there was so much evidence being like weird sample that I've never heard. Same tag? Like, I'm like, dude, there's no way. But it was such a coincidence. It wasn't stolen. That's how I got involved.
It's funny though, because like when that song first came out, I thought that Mini Boom had stole that beat from the Salazar brothers. Cause they produced using that sample back in like, I don't know, 10 years, maybe more before.
That's crazy. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You learned something.
And so, they on their song, they had like, a lot of Latin rappers and everything like that. So it was crazy that when I heard it, I was like, wait a minute, this is the same exact beat. And I was like, So I saw on Wendy Day's podcast you had alluded to this situation. You didn't detail it, but I'm smart enough. I saw what
There
you
you
were
go,
saying.
that's it. Wendy Days my homie, I love Wendy, but yeah, that is basically what happened. It started from a producer, thinking it was stolen, and by the end of it, he's like, because I told him too, I was like, Listen, man, you can't go on social media." His manager started saying stuff on social media. There's another guy I knew too, who ended up hitting up and saying, "Bro," and I'd known him for a long time, and he actually said, "Out of respect for Mike, I'm gonna pull this post down." Because I was like, "You're just wrong, dude." Like,
Wait, oh, you talking about the Nino Bless situation?
yeah, I've known Nino forever, and he was super cool about it, and he was managing that producer, and I just said, "Bro, you are wrong, and you're gonna cause a lot more issues than, you need to." So I was looking out for him too. I didn't want him to go down this crazy path. Like, when I did the research, and I've done this long enough to figure out when something is fraud or not, like, if we couldn't figure out, bro, I'd go hire a musicologist, and they'll tell me if it
Mhm.
was stolen. But when you look at the actual facts, and this is why it's important to write out evidence when you're dealing with a case like this, because it's very easy to think something, and your brain's gonna trick you to thinking, and what you're thinking is real, and then you're gonna get emotional, and then you're gonna act off your emotions, compared to if you write it all down and then read it, you're gonna start noticing some holes most likely and going, "Hold on a second, what am I missing here?" That's all I do with these cases, bro. I actually build an app using AI for these. You implement all your facts for a case, and it will spit out a report and tell you, and I actually give that to our legal team now with stolen cases. And a lot of times we gotta go hire a musicologist. We work with, a guy named Peter Oxidale. He's Ed Sheeran's musicologist, one of the best musicologists in the business, older dude, works with his son. And we've win some cases, and sometimes he's like, "Not a match." So, but that's if you have to get there. But if you're able to poke holes in a situation way before that, you don't need to spend that money with a musicologist. And I was able to do that, and facts lined up, evidence lined up. And this is why you don't go public with something like this until you actually do your due diligence. 'Cause now you ruin a relationship, probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they did it, but
Right, because that Nino tweet that he had put up, I think got like 2.5 million like impressions or some
it was
crazy.
it
It
was
was like
crazy.
viral.
Yeah, it was probably viral. I remember it, and I messaged them and just said, "This is not accurate, dude." And like, I would pull this down. I've done the due diligence here. And then I shared everything. He's like, "What?" And but I get it, bro. Like, it's just the times we're in. I had another case similar where it was actually stolen, but it was sent through a podcast stream or video stream on Twitch to an engineer of an artist that the producer actually sent it with tracking, and we actually saw he opened it 3 times and downloaded it twice, and his melody ended up on a major record, and he was cut out, and nobody would respond to him. He wasn't with us for publishing yet. I actually found him through that complaint, helped him with everything. We did it. Dude, his evidence report was like fucking 13 pages long because he had so much evidence pointing to this was his shit. And you know what the final straw that closed this case out? The producers went live and go, "This is crazy. We didn't even make this beat." And I fucking clipped it and sent it to the label and to their manager, and they go, "Okay, it's yours," and it was done. Like
Wow.
bro, people just like to talk, and it's just like, that's crazy. But that is one time where the producer actually had to go public to get something done because I didn't know him. He got my attention by going public, and when I found out, he was chasing the label down for over a year, and everyone kept telling me he's a liar, he's this, because he had no placements. But he sent it in to a live stream, it was opened, it was downloaded, and ultimately was then put on someone else's drums and finalized, and everyone goes, "Who made this loop?" Nobody knew, so they just gave it to some other producer, and the producer didn't say, "That's not mine," until he went online, and I clipped that shit and showed his manager, and I still talk to the producer, dude. It's a mistake. He made a mistake. I'm not gonna hold him to that, but
Wow.
fuck out of here. We're gonna get our guy paid.
Right,
So
right.
so anyhow, so yeah, bro, you gotta. It's not my best suggestion to go public with that type of stuff until you're like 100% sure. Because defamation is real, and not even that, just burning relationships and looking like an idiot is more damaging at times. You know what I mean? Because people are gonna be like, "This is the guy who cried wolf." You know what I mean? The boy who cried wolf, like talking about you stole this, you stole that. So then the next time your shit does get stolen, no one's gonna believe you. So yeah, bro, it's crazy.